Hello and welcome to another episode of Tour de Core, the training wheel series. And Tour de Core is, of course, the series where we take a deeper dive into WordPress. But the training wheel series specifically is aimed at people that have less experience with WordPress or you're just starting up with WordPress. And it's supposed to show creating WordPress from pretty much installing it up to the end result when it's done and it's all good. And yeah, that's what it's about. And the disclaimer I keep giving at every episode is that this is not a polished series. It is a very raw series, essentially, because I don't edit this. It's just live of me doing what the developer does and just recording it pretty much. Yeah, I had the wrong view open. That's fine. So yeah, if you're expecting something that you're gonna be able to learn quickly, this is probably not the place for you. Although you still might be able to find some gems if you are lucky, and if you have enough time and desire to watch this, then you might find a lot of stuff that's interesting. Yeah, so with all that said, let's get right back to it. I have to kind of figure out where I was at a week ago. This is a cold start for me on this, so I don't remember very well where I was, but it'll come back to me. Okay, that's good. So first of all, I'm gonna start watching the watch script. That compiles all of the assets and all of that, so that I can take a look at the site and see where. Okay, some errors were in here, but I was able to compile. Okay, a bunch of errors. Okay, so that's contrast, ratio error warnings. Minus 40 pixels was passed from code, which is not a number. Okay. Components, miscellaneous. Where's that? Here on line 2. Oh yeah. Okay. I wonder if there's any way I can get rid of the pixel part. I'm not sure. Okay. Was able to compile anyway though. Okay, so this is what we have right now. Wait a second, something's not right. Oh, that is the wrong Chrome. Yeah, okay. Right here. There we go. Much better. Much better. Okay, this is actually the correct one. So back into a phone-ish size, so we can take a look at things. Okay, so the menu was working. This is here. That's styled. Okay, yeah, so I was starting. Oh yeah, I remember. I finished the footer, kind of. So I was going to start working on the footer widgets, and after that, I was going to get into some other things. Maybe even Gutenberg blocks. We'll see. Okay, cool. So first of all, I want to see if there's a way for me to get rid of pixels and SAS. Remove units from variable. SAS remove units. Oh, it's a function. Okay. No unitless. Remove the unit of a linked. Okay. Multiply number by 0. And another one. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so what I should do is I can copy this thing over into the code I'm not sure where to put a function in here though. Common global variables, components, layouts. I guess I'll make a functions file in here. Functions SCSS. Yes, please. Okay, like so. And now I just need to include it in my main SCSS, I believe. Common global. Nothing here. Okay, yeah. So common functions. Where do the variables come in? Variables. Ah, okay, it's at the very top. Okay, well, let's add this one as well at the very top. Okay. And now I can use strip unit into this place where it's complaining. So map get. I'll do strip unit as well. And hopefully it will let me do that actually. And let's see if that works. Expected double quotes, string quotes. Thanks. On functions SCSS on 26th line. No, second line. 26 column. 26 here. Expected double quotes, string quotes. Double quotes. Minus 40 was passed through calc, which is not a number. Really? Oh, can I put the minus outside of that? Oh, this is very confusing. Does that work? Oh, I think that worked. 40 was passed through calc, which is not a number. 40 is a number. What? What do you mean it's not a number? Oh. Values. Space and commas. Okay, I still don't know. Count length values. And yeah, I don't get it. It's a number. It has to be a number. Oh, there's apparently a different one. Okay. Where's that unit SCSS? Okay. I don't know which one it's used. Let's call it strip units and see if using that one makes a difference. Compiling. 40 was passed from calculus. It is a number. It has a 4 and a 0 and nothing else, and it's a number. Why? Type of number and not unitless. Okay. What if we do some more math to it? Would that help? No. Why? Okay, this doesn't help. What if I get rid of the minus? Nope. Okay, time to look things up. was passed to rem calc, which is not a number. Okay. One config who did cause the problem. Weird. The thing is, I don't even know accent heading. Where's that? This was right here. Accent heading, this one. It calculates correctly though, that's the thing. Or does it? Oh, minus 40. Oh, do I need to add the units in the end? Okay, so it's calculating correctly right here. It's just that for some reason it's complaining about it. Okay, I mean, I think I will just ignore that. Honestly, it's gonna annoy me, but Okay, so line 22 as well has that. Okay, well this one I can fix easily, right? I don't see where that was. Okay, let's see. Minus 40 pixels, 40 pixels, 40 pixels. Accent heading, accent. Oh wait, I should not be using pixels though. The whole point is to convert that to rem. I'm so confused by this. Why is this just 40? Why is this 40? What? Is it? Oh, can I now use this stuff around it? Maybe I need to get rid of that. No, result is still the same. Rem calc. Can I do this? Oh, okay, that works. Ah, okay, there we go. And can I add a minus now is the question though. It's kind of doubt that it will let me do that. Yep, it doesn't work. Okay, then what if I use this weird thing? Oh, yes, okay, now it works. No, it's actually the negative and whatever rem amount needs to be. Okay, so now I can get rid of this, all those pixel values in here, and this pixel value, and that pixel value, and yes, this one as well. So it needs to be remcalc strip unit map get. It's a lot of function calls. Where's minus 40 pixels though? Oh, layout pages, SCSS on line 27. Okay. Line 27. Ah, there we go. Yes. Oh my god. How many places did I use remcalc with pixels in there? Oh my. Oh my. Way too many. Did I do it wrong? Well, this is definitely my stuff. Strip unit. Wait, this should be negative. Okay, so negative this, like so, so. Okay. Get rid of pixels. Get rid of pixels. Okay. Get rid of those pixels here as well. Okay, now let's look for in here remcalc that has pixels in it. Yep, there we go. Oh wow. Okay. More pixels, more pixels. Oh wow. Okay, find a path. Okay, there's only one left. Cool. Okay, that's the final one that's using pixels. That's good. Okay, I'll have to figure out these with our designer at some point, which I'll never do if I don't write them down. So let me do that right now. Take a screenshot, send it somewhere. Save it in the mail. Come on. Okay, saved it. Okay, now I can actually get back to widgets and things. Close this one. Okay, so I don't even know what I have. Do I have any sidebars? I probably don't have any sidebars, do I? Wait, I have a primary and a footer. Oh, cool. Okay, so it's ready out of the box for me. Sweet. So I'm going to need recent posts, categories, subscribe to blog. Okay. Recent posts I can do right away. Categories I can do right away. And subscribe I'll do later. I'll probably use Jetpack for it because it just works. Okay. And I need to call them recent posts categories. Recent posts, 5 at a time, 2, 4, 5, and categories. Just categories. Okay, and let's take a look at the site. Okay, so here's the widgets right there. And now I need to apply the same things to them. The cool thing is I can actually change this without too much of a hassle. And I almost remember how to do that. I haven't done that in a while. Okay, so I need to figure out where they're registering all the sidebars and stuff. Probably here, I'll guess. Okay, there we go. Widgets in it. Yep. Okay. Config. Yeah, cool. And so what I want to do with this stuff is my heading should have the same classes as as my pages. Accent heading. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it would have been nice if I could just use this, but I don't think I can. So I won't use it. Ooh, although you know what, I might actually be able to use it. Okay. Let me see if I can be tricky here. No, because that's before and after. Maybe I can still use it. Nah. I'm trying to way overcomplicate things here. No point in that. Accent, heading, accent. Okay, yeah. And then just close the span and close the div. Okay. And if we go to the browser, it is not working. Did I break anything? Ah, there we go. Recent posts. But where's my accent thingy? Oh, I forgot my accent thingy. Yes. I need to actually grab. Oh, okay. So yes, I need to put it right here. There we go. Much better. Much better. I probably will want to have like a mid width on this. Actually, let's see how. What's the design like on the mobile version, on the desktop version? Well, this is actually full width. Okay, so I'll override it just in here. Oh, this is a place for pictures. I guess that's what it is. That's probably a place for a thumbnail. I'll skip that for now. No thumbnail. Or maybe not. I'm confused by this. Let me look at the most recent design. Oh wait, this is just, oh, this is the mobile version. Okay, let's find the non-mobile version. Desktop design. Okay, there we go. Ah, okay. I had an outdated design. Okay. Yep, that's much better looking. Okay. I was confused there for a second. Like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, all of my designs are outdated. Okay. Okay, well, I have this stuff here, so I'll look at it when I get to desktop. For now, I'm far from desktop. Okay, so there's no padding on this stuff. There's margin on this stuff. So what I probably need to do, let's figure out where are the widgets. Site footer, grid container. Okay, yeah, so we do have that. Okay, so the accent heading doesn't have that negative margin in there, so we'll get rid of that in the footer, and we'll also make this full width. So footer, which is somewhere. Components. I'm pretty sure there was a footer thing somewhere. Global components, layouts. Oh yes, layouts. Okay. So inside of site footer, I guess I could just. Oh, okay. Instead of site footer, accent heading should have margin left 0 and width 100%. I'm assuming it's gonna reload at some point. Okay, so got rid of margin left. Oh, okay, accent heading. So this thing needs to be okay, yeah. Accent heading main needs to be calc 100% minus whatever the width of the accent thing is. Ugh. Okay. 8 pixels. Get rid of the white spaces so it doesn't complain. Okay, that actually works. I do want foundation accent heading main. I do want the accent to have a fixed width of 8 pixels. Yeah, so that I can actually use that fixed width here as well. Okay, so now the title in itself is working. 13 pixels, that should be 13-ish pixels as well, I believe. Font size, well, 14, that's fine though. Okay, and then our UO should have no margin, no padding, nothing. Okay. UO, this style, none, and margin left 0, margin bottom 0. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, that's getting closer. Now I'm going to need to add some spacing after the heading before the text. It says 25 pixels. Okay. So accent heading, we'll need to have margin bottom from calc 25. Okay, and then I also want to have some spacing between all the widgets. So from here to here, 35 pixels ish. Even after the last one. Okay, so every widget I want to have margin bottom 35 pixels. Let's see. Okay, that's starting to look a little bit like it. What's the core on this text? Oh no, it's okay. Okay, I think this is the body core. Yes, it is the body core. Okay. Not sure about it being the same core, even though it's links, but we'll figure something out. And I need to figure out a reasonable line height for this stuff. How do I do like using padding instead of line height? Yes, padding is required here. Okay. So what if we do padding of 10 pixels? Too much? Too much. Okay. What about right around? I think that's about close. 100%. Yeah, that's more or less about right. I think the distance between the two texts. Guess we can throw in 2 more pixels in there. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So our list item should have 7 pixels 0. Should I be using rem here too? I guess so. Let's use rem everywhere. Use all the rems. Oh, I'm using pixels here. Maybe that's fine. Okay, I'll leave it as is right now. And then my anchors, I want them to use body font color. Again, I'm not sure about that decision, but we'll see. Okay. So now we have a footer section, widget section that looks kind of like, oh, hold up. So this here is only 20 pixels. So I need to reduce this padding left. But more or less it looks decent. Accent heading main, padding left, should be rem calc. Minus with this weird formatting thing, 20. And I should move over to left. Move over. Come on. What? I'm confused. What? Invalid property value. What? How is that an invalid value? What? Oh. Duh. Yes, I don't want negative padding. I want just padding left. Right. Okay. Yes, now it's good. Okay. So that's good. Yeah, so our footer section is starting to look good. That's nice. There needs to be a little bit more spacing above. So I guess let's do that as well. Let's add a little bit of padding top, maybe margin top, margin, I guess. Okay, and the distance between these two is 45 pixels. Okay, and then afterwards, again. Oh yes, why you do this? It keeps losing my That's weird. Don't lose my thing. Nope, wrong one. Still. Correct. Why does it keep switching? Switching. Don't switch. Odd. Okay, what if I switch a bunch? No? Doesn't it know? What if I go here, then back? It's fine. Weird. Okay, whatever. I was saying, I do want to have some margin top of remcalc 45 and bottom it's quite a lot. Let's add another 45 as well. Bottom of remcalc 45 as well. Okay, and there we go. Spacing above, spacing below. Okay, so that's looking correct. Okay, cool. So I don't want to touch these. Not yet. Not ready for that yet. So I guess what I could do next, in theory, is stuff. Let's look at the other pages of the design. So our header and footer is mostly done. I guess the footer could be, these things could be somewhere configurable. Yes, for example, customizer. Customizer is a great place for this stuff. Okay. Let's see. We have homepage settings, site identity, blah blah blah. Ooh, the footer doesn't look happy on desktop. I guess I'll fix that later, but okay, it's just, yeah, never mind. It's all good. Yeah, customizer. For the customizer, let's see if they have anything. I would imagine it would be in setup. Nothing here. Okay, so let's look up if they have customizer. Ooh, app admin PHP theme customizer setup. Okay, admin PHP. There we go. Customize register, blog name, transport, post message, blah blah blah. Okay. Why are they not following the WordPress standard? It's gonna bug me so much. Why? For anyone out there that's wondering what I mean by the WordPress standard, there is a set of WordPress coding standards for PHP and other pretty much any language that's used within WordPress, you know, PHP, JavaScript, CSS, they all have standards that are defined by WordPress. And a lot of people online don't follow them, and it bugs me because I've gotten used to them and I follow them and I think they're a great thing, but not everyone agrees. How can the internet not agree with me? But yeah, so essentially there's things like using tabs and using spaces around function parameters and function inside of function definitions. Never mind. I'll just have to go and fix them as I come across them. The thing now I don't remember at all is how to actually customizer API. I don't remember at all how to use it. It's fairly simple. I just have to, you know, remember that. Okay, defining settings, controls, etc. On customizer register, yes, that's one. We already have that callback. And they're using anonymous functions. That bugs me too. Okay, that's fine. Adding new setting, add setting. So the customizer, you first have to add your setting and then a control. also a section. So if you want a separate section, you can assign things to existing sections, I think, as well. So, you know, like you can assign things to site identity if you have something else that you want to put in there, or any other section that you create or anything else creates. Or you can create your own section, just like, you know, just like site identity menus and all of that. You can create your own section and then add controls into that. Yeah, here are the default sections that are defined, and you can add your controls into any of those sections essentially. In this case, I don't really care about live preview because I mean, okay, even for this, it would be worth it to do live preview. The thing is, I don't actually care about this particular experience that much. I mean, it's for internal use, first of all. Second of all, it's gonna, like, you know, show or hide icons. Like, not a big deal, not worth it. If you do this for a customer site, I would recommend doing it. You know, it will take you like extra 15 minutes maybe or something. But it is nice, you know, because then it's smooth and it's a better experience overall. Even if it's for something as simple as this, you know, it's eye candy. So yeah. If you're doing this for someone else, take the time and do it. If you're doing it for yourself, then up to you, really. Okay, so I guess let's add a section first of all. Okay, I was still on the correct browser. So inside of customize register, inside of that action, we're gonna add a new section, and it will be, you know, what did I use? Have I not used anything yet? Okay, I guess PP. Pack products, social. Okay, social links. Do we actually have helper setup? Sage, it's called. We're using Sage. Okay, we'll stick with Sage so that it's easier to search and replace later on if we decide to. Priority 30, maybe, I'll see. Okay, and then the other thing that we have to do is we need to add a setting. So I'll grab this code from here, and I'll add it over here. Transport refresh, that's fine. I wonder if I put it to post message to avoid actually refreshing the page, if that will work fine. You know, I won't have the actual result of, you know, updating in real time, but it will avoid reloading the page, which is better. It will prevent reloading the page, which is good. And so let's call this, you know, Facebook URL. And then I'm going to add a control for it. Oh, I probably should be using, okay, yes. Okay, and so what the deal here is, I have to grab the setting ID, put it in here in settings. I want to grab the label, the section, which is this one. Change the Sage and rename the ID of my control. So Facebook URL control. Change this to Facebook URL. Save and reload the customizer. We should see our section. There it is, social links. Oh, and I put it as a cover. Duh. Okay, yes, I don't want a cover control. I want, let's find all the different ones. See documentation about cover. That will be customized control. This is plain text. So yeah, we want just the customized control one. Come on, there we go. There is a place for the setting. So inside of the setting, add setting ID arguments, type. Yes, so something that you can consider is if you're adding sections to the customizer from a plugin, then you're most likely going to want to set this type to option, because this way, even if the user changes their theme, their settings will carry over to the next theme where they are still using your plugin. On the other hand, though, if it's a specific plugin for a specific theme, then like whether if it kind of depends on the theme, which it shouldn't. It's the plugin's functionality. If it depends on the theme, then maybe it should be a theme mod. But yeah, just consider that in general. Okay, so that's good. I just need to change my control type to be a regular one. Customize control right here, and I think the rest should be good. So let's see what happens if we reload the page again and we go to social links. There we go. Oh, we have a default somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I cleared out the default. It was right here. I got rid of it because we don't care about defaults on these. And let's set up pagdev.com. I don't actually know if that's our Facebook page or not. Oh well, that's fine. So inside of the code, I'm essentially going to just copy and paste this a bunch of times. How many have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, so we have LinkedIn. This is where using your editor's shortcuts is very useful. LinkedIn URL. Section is correct. So you can just mark Facebook and then select all of the 3 next regions and change that at the same time. Okay, so in this case, this is gonna stay Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Sure, we could have Instagram someday. Instagram, and then I'm gonna paste this again and change the last one to be YouTube. Oh, and I have to go in and change LinkedIn, the labels. Facebook, this one is Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube URL. Okay, and so now when I reload the browser, I should see yeah, go away. Yeah, there we go. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, twitter.com/pagdev. I'll just add linkedin.com for now, and youtube.com. Okay, publish those. Okay, so now the question is to display those in here, and this can be done easily. Footer blade PHP. Oh, this is a great opportunity to actually show you something real cool. And Laravel. I'm guessing. I would imagine they brought it over here, but maybe they didn't. Let's see. So the thing is, I don't even know what it's called exactly. Service injection, is that what it is? No. That's pretty cool too. But now what I'm looking for, there is a way to automatically insert some variables into a view, which is just like magic. The problem is I don't remember. I remember doing something like this. I don't remember how I did it. Compiling assets, components and slots, control structures, no. Forms, no. Subviews, no. Stacks, no. It's not here. Let's see. Adding variables to a blade view from, that's the thing, I don't remember what it was. No, I don't care about that one. What was it called? From the controller to the view, no. Global model variable for all blade views. That's a video. Export page variables to JavaScript. To all blade views. Laravel. View composers. Is that what it is? Oh, so do I need to? Oh, okay. Not blade. I need to go to views. View composers. Yes. Okay. Callbacks are class methods that are called when a view is rendered. If you have data that you want to be bound to a view each time that is rendered, a view composer can help you organize the logic. Exactly. So, yeah, the cool thing about this is you essentially define one class, and regardless of when a particular view is called, you can just inject stuff into it. So let me show you why that's cool. So right now, you know, what can I do, right? So I could do something like this. I could open a PHP the old-fashioned way, right? I can open PHP and I can say, you know, my LinkedIn URL is get theme mod, and then my theme mod, whatever it is, and then now here I can go, is there not empty? Is there not empty? No, there's not empty. So wait, I don't think there's not empty, is there? Getting started. 1 second. Front end, blade templates, control structures. Set, and it said blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. Well, if not empty, LinkedIn URL, then, you know, I'll do this, right? And I'll still use this part. I'll still use the if part in the end. But the thing is, with the MVC pattern, you're not supposed to actually do logic inside of your view, right? Like this does not belong in the view. Even though it will work, it's just against the pattern ideology, whatever. Although this is very common in the WordPress world, because that's, you know, that's kind of how you do it. Like you don't have an easy way to pass variables into your templates, so that's, you know, usually you'll see you know, WordPress page templates or other things where they have the more complicated ones. They have, you know, like a bunch of lines at the top, or even worse, sometimes like just all across the whole template of defining variables and doing logic and stuff like that. Which, I mean, I have to agree that it's not super nice. So, I mean, it's better to just do it somewhere else, right? And so that's what this view composers let you do, is that you can define one class and you can say, okay, you know, like when this particular view is being rendered, then call this function, and that can essentially add stuff to the view. So here's an example. So the profile composer that they're showing us here, when it's starting up, accepts a user's thing, which this yeah, dependency is automatically resolved by service container. That's not a magic thing that I'm I don't even want to know how they made it. But essentially, just because they say that users is, you know, this class, they automatically create it and send it to the function. How it works, I don't know. But anyway, so then when the view is composing, it just adds the variable count to the view, and that's all, you know, and it just works, which is pretty cool. So the question is, blade templates, let's see, composers, no. I guess we also have this stuff, right? Sage template page data. But I feel like controller can also be used to pass data to templates. Blah blah blah. Basic controller. Like the thing is though, like I feel like it should work. Compose. View composer. Yeah, maybe not. View composers. No, there's a bunch of other stuff in here. Okay, well, here's my idea. Let's see if it will work if we just import it and put it somewhere. You know, copy paste the code and see if we can get it to work. And if we can, then we'll do something else, I guess. But yeah, let's see if that will work first. Blah blah blah. Namespace app providers. We have controllers. Setup. What's in the setup? Root, Sage container, template, blade provider. View composers. App providers, view service provider. Was a blade provider. Okay. View composer. Class-based composers. Closure-based composers. Okay. Add blade to Sage container. New blade. Okay. Okay, so what other views do we have? View service provider. Okay, yeah, so we do have view service provider in here. Oh, I was showing the wrong stuff. I'll show in a second what I'm looking at. Within service provider, we use the view of say to access laying view factory contract implementation. However you wish. For example, you create an app HTTP view composers directory, blah blah blah. Okay. View service provider. So this is inside of eliminate. So this is just like a default view service provider, maybe. Extend service provider. On boot, do some stuff. Weird. Okay, well, let's grab this. And inside of our own stuff, let's make a providers folder. providers, new file, view service provider, PHP. Let's paste this stuff in here. View service provider, blah blah blah, extend service provider. I want footer, but this is inside of partial/footer as a dot. So inside of page header blade. Okay, so it's partial/footer. I guess let's try. Let's try this first and see what we get. View width. I think that's what we have to go, right? View width. Testing this thingy. The thing is, this probably needs to be initialized somewhere, right? So now the question is, how do we? Let's go with the view instance. You may use the width method to bind data. Attaching composer to multiple views. That's fine. Blah blah blah. View creators. Okay, so it doesn't say what I need to do with this view service provider. Let's look this up. Laravel using view service provider. I think we need to register this somewhere. Potentially using base controller. Nope. Using filter. Nope. Nope. You create your own service provider. It's common, or you can use the existing app service provider. Enter array of providers in your config/app. Okay, so now I guess I need to figure out where the providers are set up here. Provider. Would I add it here? Maybe? Okay, let's search in this for providers. This is very, where's this? So that's inside of the vendor. I don't want inside the vendor folder. That's all? Yeah. Okay, maybe I can see Sage use view service providers. Root style. No. okay. Laravel. The Sage Express provider. Sage Express provider is similar to Laravel service providers, but they contain additional methods for config and render. Outloaded. View the config app PHP configuration. Oh yeah, I guess what's in the config file? View paths compiled. Namespaces. No. Assets. Nope. Beam. Nope. Okay. Okay, what if I just add this? I have no clue. Okay, Sage, views provider, function, container, app. New view service provider app register. Okay. Do I need to return anything? New blade. I don't think so. I don't know what that's gonna do. Let's see anyway though. Let's see if this whole thing breaks now. First of all though, actually, well, it will break because I put the wrong stuff in there. But let's see. I want inside of so this provider is adding tests, so I want to spit out test in the footer, right? So let's do h1 test, right? Yeah, let's see what happens there. Where did my site go? I lost my site. There it is. Okay, yes. Undefined variable test, yes. Well, that didn't work. Surprise, surprise. Boot. Register bindings in the container. Yeah, so boot. No boots here. Boot. 100 plus matches, of course. After set of theme, blah blah blah. Register bindings in the container. I mean, alternatively, I could call boot instead of register, right? That still doesn't do it. Was PHP debug working here? I have no clue. Let's see. No. I need to configure that. Oh, okay. Let's do the simple thing right now. Just throw an error. No, How is this not running? Oh, because we probably need to because this only calls it when it's called. Sage add service provider. I guess we can see what this place is doing, right? Config app providers. I wonder if this config is being included at all. I mean, let's try that as well. So I'll create a new file, app.php, right? And so that's the way you do it in Laravel. Anyway, return an array. Return an array that has providers. The thing is, I don't know if it's gonna work. Who knows? And then view service provider class. Nope. Oh, here we go. We have another config thing here. And functions PHP. Okay. Okay, that's some magic they're doing here. Whatever, I don't care about that. What I do care about though is that I want my app config to be loaded as well. Let's see if that makes any noticeable difference. Nope. Okay, is our app config being coded at all? Wow. Okay, our config file is being called because I added this in here, so that's nice. It's good to know. The problem is that's still not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. I'm guessing you probably have to actually use this app config, don't you? Probably. Providers. Let's find providers in here. Okay, service providers, blah, blah, blah. They have a bunch of different providers. The question is, how do they add them to the app? Oh, it's not showing me. Come on. Dot providers, maybe? No, that doesn't work. Okay. Alright, well, I guess let's just look at all of these. Config app PHP. App provider. Okay, let's look at this Sage Express thingy. And look for providers. Register configured providers. Okay, so here's where it's getting all the providers and it's registering them. Okay, now the question is, do we have something like this inside of the stock Sage that we're using? Oh, I feel like this is probably gonna be a package though, isn't it? I wonder if I even have access to that. Okay, so what's Sage? And where is it? It's in helper species, that's good. Container, root Sage container. Where's root Sage container now is the question. Make what? Sage abstract. Interesting. Extends base container. So this is inside of the vendors thing though. Okay. Okay, it's a basic container though. Bootstrap. There's configure providers. Does the base container have a... I'm way deep, way deeper than I should have been. So what I'm curious about is how does Laravel itself register its providers? Let's see. So Laravel app. No. Bootstrap app. New eliminate foundation application. Huh. Is that something that we have here? Foundation application. We have a contract, which is not what I'm looking for because that's just the interface. Extends container though. Okay. Illuminate foundation application. Illuminate foundation application. Okay. Let's look at a more recent version of this. Extends container. Eliminate container. Okay. And in our case, I have too many things open. The SageLab container extends the base container, which is eliminate container. Okay, that's good. Okay, so here's what I can do though. In this case, right? I can create my own container. So let's make a new file. That's probably not the best place for it, but app container or just application. Let's follow their thing. Oh, okay, yes, I want it to be called. Yeah, let's call it application PHP. Okay, let's do this stuff. Let's save our namespace as app, and let's use roots Sage container, right? And we'll have our class of application extending container. So that way it will essentially extend all the way to the base container as well. And so in there now, we can define some of the things that we're supposed to have in there. Specifically, we're supposed to have things like boot and whatnot. I just need to find it. Bootstrap with blah blah blah. Boot. Yes. Okay. Is it a public function? Protected. Okay. So protected. Ah, actually. Oh, I guess not. Function boot. Really? Yes, example application and container. Boot. What? There's no boot? How is there no boot in here? I'm confused. Eliminate container, container. Eliminate container, container. Implements. Doesn't extend anything. It should have boot. How does it not have boot? Oh, this one doesn't implement application. What? Which package is this part of? Eliminate container. Vendor eliminate container. I mean, this should be just... What's in the composer JSON? Illuminate. I guess maybe Sage lib, Sage installer, Sage lib, yes. Okay, that is not what I was looking for. Sage lib. I want to see what their composer JSON looks like. Like, what are they requiring from eliminate view, eliminate config? Interesting. What's an eliminate support though? Composer JSON. It's just require, not require, I require eliminate contracts. Okay, I'm confused. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Well, anyway, regardless of that, let's see if our boot method is being called. Boot. That's the lane kind of debugging, but it works. So, shush. No, it's not being called. I mean, that shouldn't be much of a surprise, really. I'm spending way too much time doing non-WordPress stuff. But it's so easy to get into this. Base container. Okay, so what are we doing with our container once we set it up somewhere? So get instance on container new, so it essentially creates a new version of itself. It doesn't even have a, what? Array access container contract. Oh, it has container contract. What's in container contract though? Tag bind f singleton extend instance when factory make call resolving after resolving. Huh. Contracts foundation application. Interesting. Okay, so what I can do is I can keep figuring out. Okay, so app singleton blah blah blah. I know that the app is booted somewhere. but it's booted by it's booted later on, I think. Bootstrap. That was just here, wasn't it? So the kernel handler returns the app. And public index PHP. Okay. So it gets the app, makes stuff with it, blah blah blah, handles. Yeah, so the thing is, I think when handling or when making the kernel, one of the two, I think when handling the response is when the kernel initializes the app. Okay, so what we could do is we can just call our thing somewhere and set up. Yes, okay, so Sage boot. Oh, I did create it as a protected function, so that's gonna fail. Okay, I can have a protected is booted, false, and then if this is booted, return, otherwise do some stuff. Okay, and we have a fatal error called root sage container boot. Oh yes, because I'm still booting the wrong class. So the sage function, which is in helpers, in app helpers, which I can change luckily, right? So namespace app, and I'll change container to application. Okay. Yo, here's what I did. So I got rid of this use root sage container because I don't need it. And then I renamed all of these container instances to be application. So it'll be app/application. And now we shouldn't have the error, the sudo undefined root sage container boot. Okay, so public function boot. Did I not save my helpers file? Okay. Nope. Okay. Unless using a different version of Sage. Oh, wait. Is it in the this in the correct namespace? So should be using the app/sage method, right? What do we have if we just dump Sage? Root sage container is still using this wrong. It's still returning the wrong container for some reason, and I'm not 100% sure why that is. Okay, function sage in controller PHP. That's something else. Okay, so our thing should be right here. Okay, so what if we exit right here? Okay, so it is working. Here's that. Okay. So what if we do get class? No, just application class. App/application. Boot. I'm confused. Oh wait, get instance. New static. Huh. Maybe that is returning the wrong thing. So maybe down in the base container. Things are getting mixed up. On get instance. Huh. New static. Yes, it is using the wrong class. How come? Sage helpers application get instance, an application we have this which extends container. I could skip the roots container in theory. Okay, let's see if we just skip the Sage container. See what happens then. Then it probably will work. Somewhere. What? It has to be a joke. Okay, something is not adding up here. So I'm now I'm extending directly this container, and it's still thinking over here. It's still showing the root Sage container. That doesn't make any sense. Unless it's being initialized somewhere. Oh no. Okay, container. Okay, where else do we have container? What else are we using Sage? These are all the places really in setup PHP. That is interesting. We're not using Sage here. We are using Sage here. Okay. I guess we can have. Let's see what we have here. I should set up my thing. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Look at this. Okay, look at this actually. Sage is being the helper function is being called before things are initialized. Okay, so then maybe, just maybe, our container is getting initialized Get instance. Where else do we call get instance? Eliminate console. No. Root sagelib template blade provider. Oh, okay. Oh, and then functions PHP. Okay. Okay, that explains things a little bit better. Yes. So in functions PHP then, what we need to do, bind f blah blah blah. Instead of this container, we need to use application and call app application get instance. Okay, again, I'll show what I did. Not here, sorry. So inside of functions PHP, I was using root sage container, and essentially I just have to change that to application. Inside of application though, I can go back to the sage container, so that's fine. And now let's see. Okay, now we actually have app application. Good. Okay, so that's nice. And so that means that inside of so I can close this sagelib container, I can close that container, and yes, I can get rid of that container too. So now instead of PHP, we can actually call sage boot. There we go, like so. And now it's booting. There we go. Helpers, yes. Okay, I can get rid of the... Okay, so now inside of our application, instead of exiting on boot, we can say this is booted, goes true. I don't think that's the exact correct way to do this, but it will do for our purposes, hopefully. And what I need to do in here now is figure out how people are doing their own thing. Protected sage. Okay. Register configured providers. Okay, I guess we do need to call that. But our application is really like Sage's application. So this is Sage. Okay. Okay. Bootstrap register stays. Register configure providers. This config get app providers. Is that going to work at all? I don't know. So I added code to register configure providers and then the actual method, and setup PHP. I guess in functions PHP is where things are getting set up. Yeah, so bind if config. Okay. Yeah, app providers. Okay. And let's see what we get in providers. Okay, here's our provider. Sweet. Now I need to grab some more code, because I need to register each of those providers. I don't think register does anything. I don't think register exists actually. Yes, it does fail. Okay. So I need to figure out what register does in the original stuff, in the original code for Laravel. I don't know why. Where's the service provider with the application? Yeah, I really don't know why it's a different. I guess a container, not an application, is it? Maybe that has something to do with it. Register. I wonder if I can just switch to an actual application class. Application. Eliminate console, limit constructs console, custom application. Nope. Yeah, we don't have that. Okay, that's fine. So I just need to find application. Eliminate foundation application. Eliminate foundation. Oh. Support out foundation translation session. Pagination. Container. Okay, let's search for application in this organization and the code. Really, I need to sign in. I don't know. I don't know if I know my password. Yes, I'm not sure. Oh, come on. Oh. Where do I want to try again? Oh. Come on. Where is that? Eliminate foundation application. Namespace. Is it part of the Laravel framework? Laravel framework. Source eliminate. Okay. Foundation. Application. There we go. Application PHP. Register. Okay, so we have protected service providers. We'll take this. Thank you very much. I guess we'll call it booted instead of is booted. Booted. Okay. Provider. Register base service providers. Bootstrap with. Register configured providers. Okay. Package manifest providers. What? Okay, we won't register though, essentially. Provider register, blah blah blah. Okay, let's see. Resolve provider, get provider. Yeah, we need a whole lot of stuff from here. I don't know if this is gonna be worth it. We'll see. Resolve provider. So I'm essentially grabbing stuff that is just missing here. So register configure providers, we get the providers, we register them. And then in here, okay, so this doesn't know about us, that's fine. Provider bindings, that's fine. Mark is registered, so that's something I need as well. Okay. Service providers, loaded providers. Okay. Boot provider. Okay, so I need boot provider as well. Okay. I will also need I'm not sure if all of this will work, we'll see. Mark is registered, loaded providers. Right here. Okay, so let's see if this whole thing breaks down. Yes. App are not found. Import class, okay. Ooh, look at this. It didn't die. Okay. We still have an undefined variable. Okay. So is our provider even loading at this point? Register configure providers. So providers here, we go register. This get provider. No, okay, so we don't have a provider yet, so that's good. So we'll keep going down. So provider register is called, which our provider is right here. We have stuff that we do on boot. Oh, this is booted as okay, yes, is here. Aha, there we go. Yeah, our view provider is actually getting called because we have this exit. And let's see if fader cut state root has not been set. Okay. So that's fun. Okay. State root has not been set. That is not nice. Bound method. I wonder if I can actually use a class instead. Let's see. Not this, view composers. Okay, yeah, so let's use some composer. We'll pretend we have this one. Okay, let's see if that changes anything at all. Nope, still the same error. Okay. So, facade root has not been set. So this means that somewhere it's setting up the root facade. I would imagine that maybe providers. No provider here. I would imagine plate is plate here. Okay, I see when it's happening. Why you do this? Come on. Okay. Repositories plate. Yeah. Plate of GitHub. Yeah, okay. App providers. No. Framework. No. So inside of Laravel. So somewhere there should be config app providers. So here are the default providers. Okay, we have view service provider. Okay. Do we have anything that says blade? No. View. Facade root has not been set. Composer. Oh, I wonder if it's failing inside of our application. Maybe not. Register, markets registered. Okay, so it's failing when it's trying to boot the provider. But I'm guessing if I don't actually have it, it's not gonna work. Yes, okay. So if I don't boot the provider, nothing works. But if I do try to boot the provider, so all it does is it calls boot on our provider, And our view service provider, what it does is it extends the service provider. Okay, so inside of view composer, then return view. Okay. Where's view coming from actually? Eliminate view composer. Call method if has macro. Method doesn't exist. Limits array access view contract. So there's not even a composer thingy here. Extend service provider. I hope this is worth it. I'm not sure at this point yet. I'm not sure. Okay, boot provider. Okay, guess. Oh, okay, so that's something we can do. We can add a check. Okay, so we already have that check. If method exists boot, it does call it. Okay. Service provider. Okay. Application. Where's our view service provider? Providers. View service provider boot. So so we're getting to here, but that's about it. So it's trying to call view composer. I don't feel like view method exists view composer. Yeah, so that's the problem. We don't actually have a composer on our view class. So I guess it's about it's not over here really. Config app eliminate view service provider. Pretty sure I found this at some point. view service provider. Okay. So their service provider extends Illuminate support service provider. The same thing. That's interesting. Illuminate support service provider. Huh. Where's Illuminate support? Illuminate support service provider. It is an abstract class. Okay. About the same amount of lines. Okay. Oh, right. The thing was that view has composer. Okay. Oh, wait, why is he using the facade view? That doesn't make sense. Okay, we don't actually have limited contracts on the view. Okay, what about this then? Method view composer does not exist. Okay. Now view service provider. What? Service provider. Yeah, this is supposed to use the view facade here in their example. Oh, use eliminate view. Okay, eliminate view. Yes, that's better. Okay. But that's profile composer. Okay, so yeah, here we're supposed to use the facade. Provider. So inside of the provider, we're supposed to use the facade. Illuminate support facades. Since facade. Blah blah blah. Co-static method. Okay, so yeah, there it is. Composer, okay. Takes ray string views, blah blah blah, or callback. Okay. So where is it coming from though? Get facade root. Oh, facade root has not been set. Oh. Okay. Resolve facade instance, get facade accessor. View. Oh, so the deal here was that I need to. Okay, I think. Okay, it's slowly coming back. I think we have to actually first when we're bootstrapping our app thingy. So I think inside of bootstrap setup, boot. Okay, so let's boot this last, and let's look into is that what it needs to happen? Hold on a second. Resolve set instance name. It's an object, and we'll return the object. Resolved instance static app name. Yes, so I think okay, I think what we need to do is define view and return. Okay, so yep, okay. Now I need to figure out how they do it, which is the trickier part. So providers, blah blah blah. Okay. Singleton view. Let's see, is that what it was called? View service provider. Sets view, yes, view. View. Okay, middleware. No. Viewfinder, view service provider. Yes, there we go. App singleton view. Function app. Eliminate view. Eliminate view. View service provider. Okay, so yeah, it's actually, do we have use eliminate view service provider? Oh, we do have view service provider here. Okay, what if we say instead of our own service provider, we say to actually include the config app PHP. We use this one. What about that? That changed things. We'll still get an undefined variable. That's fine because our thing is not loading. The question is, what happens if now we try to get access to view? Haha. And we have our view service provider in here. Okay, so that's good. So now I can grab this code off of here. Providers, so view composers within a service provider. Eliminate support service provider. Okay. So our service provider still needs to exist. Support service provider. Then service provider, we use the view facade. Okay, so I think, and I'm speculating here, but I think if we add in our config, let's add view service provider from illuminate view above our service provider, and let's hope, oh, wouldn't work. Okay, illuminate support facades, blah blah blah. It should work now. Okay, how is it trying to load the providers? I should be loading them. And the way they are, right? View service provider. Yeah. Okay. So that's not the problem. Register. We want to register stuff. It boots the provider. So first it's gonna boot the other one. It's gonna boot this one. Register factory viewfinder engine resolver. Yeah, so it registers the factory first. Which it doesn't. It does that on register, which it's code right here. Oh, okay, never mind. This app. Check it up. So okay, it takes the app. Resolve provider. What it gives it the instance. Okay, so that's correct. And it goes register. Simple enough. Okay, so it should be registered. Why is it not? Register bleed engine. Blah blah blah. View engine resolver, viewfinder. Okay, set container, share app. So the weird thing, at least that I find weird here. So when I comment this out, it all works. Then when I add it back in, it doesn't work. So it breaks when we're trying to call view composer. Resolve facade instance. Static app name. Oh, okay, so what about, I guess, view. Does that work? State root has not been set. Okay, so it's able to figure that out. Helpers, Sage. Setup. Okay. Yeah, so this is still working. State root has not been set. State state root has not been set. State line to 20. Instance. So if it's not able to find the facade root, resolve facade instance get facade accessor, which get facade accessor should return view, right? It does return view. Resolve facade instance by the name. Okay, it's not an object. We have resolved instances name. I doubt we do. Static app name. What is static app only? No. Okay, so that's a bit of a problem. So static app is no. Why is it no though? Okay, so let's see where app is being assigned. Get facade application. Okay, maybe let's look at static class. Okay, so this is the facades view class. Okay. App share. Use. It's not using the. And is that a public thing? That's protected. Okay, so static app maybe? Okay, that's not helpful. No. Resolver, Finder, App Events. Factory set container. Create factory. New factory. Yes, I'm not sure why that's failing. What I could do is I could hack it. It's probably not going to be good. I guarantee that. Was it boot that takes register boot? Okay, provide register. All right, app. Okay, so this app. View. Set facade application. This app. So this is a really, I'm pretty sure that's not the right way to do it, but it does work. Now the big question is, after all this work, testing this thingy works. Yay, I guess. I'm not at all sure if that was worth the effort, but okay, let me go back and did I make any changes to things that I shouldn't have changed? Resources, providers. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, I didn't change anything, so I can close all these files that I don't need anymore. Close a bunch of stuff. Setup. I don't need to access this here anymore. I still have a big huge var dump somewhere. View service provider. What is that even? It's the application. Okay, so is it in setup? Yes, it is in setup. It's still there. Okay. Boot. Nothing to show. I must have changed something I wasn't supposed to change. Sade. There we go. Okay, I found it. Okay, so now I can actually do the thing I was supposed to do this whole time. That started like way more than an hour ago. So after all of this effort, now what I can do, view composers, app.http. Sure, let's follow Laravel's naming convention. So instead of my app directory, I'm going to create a new directory called http/view/composers, and then I'm gonna have a new file in here. It's gonna be the footer composer PHP. namespace app HTTP view composers, and we'll have our profile composer. So we'll grab the sample code they have from here. We'll not call this the profile composer, we'll call it the footer composer because it's composing things for the footer. We don't care about this users thingy. We don't care about this either. I honestly don't think we need the construct thing because I guess it makes sense to do the construct thing because then we can set up some stuff. Okay, was this protected? It was protected. Okay, so protected, you know, LinkedIn. Actually, I guess what I can do. Ooh. Protected URLs as an array. Okay. And now what I can do is this URLs equals an array that has a bunch of things in there. So where was the place where we initialized admin? There it is. So it's gonna be essentially all of our URLs as they are here. Get theme mod LinkedIn URL. We have 5, I think. Facebook. I guess I can look at my other screen with customizer. Facebook, Twitter. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Okay, and then add the compose place and the compose method. All I really need to do is width, and width can accept an array as well. So I can just say with this URLs. And what this should do. Okay, so in the browser is still the same thing, whatever. Oh, right. What we need to do actually, we need to go back in the code. Okay, the browser is still good. So what we need to do in our view service provider, we need to change this to actually use the class now instead of using the other thing. So it's going to be app HTTP blah blah blah. Composers footer composer. Okay. Composer. And so if we look at our page now, we'll say undefined variable test because we're trying to use tests and we're no longer defining that anywhere. So we can now get rid of that from the footer blade PHP. So get rid of this. And our LinkedIn URL, by the way, should work, but it's gone. If not empty, LinkedIn URL. Oh yes, because we're overriding it. Let's see. There we go. And our LinkedIn icon is here. Now to show you that it actually works. And obviously I need to also replace this stuff to actually use the LinkedIn URL, right? I will grab this and F and F and F and F Okay, so now I need to change all of these links to be the corresponding URL. Let's actually place all of these in here so it's easier to replace. So this is gonna be our Facebook URL. This is gonna be our Twitter URL. This is gonna be our Instagram. This is gonna be our YouTube URL. Okay, so now if we look at the browser, what we should see is our Instagram link is gone. We only have the 4 links, and now let me close all these tabs. Actually, get rid of them finally. We got what we needed. If we go back to the customizer and we add instagram.com, publish, and we go back to our homepage and we reload it, we now have the Instagram URL and it just works. So I guess this was a lot of work, but it was kind of worth it, maybe worth it. I don't know, we'll see. If we actually need to pass variables to any other views like that, I don't know if we'll have to. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I have no clue. Yeah, I'm not sure where I would use these anywhere else, honestly, at this point. But it works for here, so that's good. I'll get rid of the Instagram URL for now. Publish, go back here. Oh, it's good. Okay. Okay. So we can get a close footer composer. We have our view service provider, so we can add more composers in here if we wanted to. Again, I'm not sure where we would need to, but if we do have to, we could. Which is good. Okay, I can close this config. I think we're done adding things for now. Okay, so what I can do now is I could check out some of the other pages that we have. Menu blog. I guess I could start working on the blog maybe. I do have a contact page as well, which is fairly simple, which is good. Product themes. Yeah, maybe the blog will be the simplest at this point. Oh, I honestly have no clue what this is. What is this? Okay, I mean, that's a date. Is that a tag? Category? I actually don't know. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. Okay, that's fine, but I could still work on the other stuff anyway. Yeah, okay. So let's see, do we even have a blog page? We do have a blog page. Okay, is that set up in here? Now it is. Okay, ooh, WordPress 5.1. Let's update. Okay. Yay. Cool. Now let's go to the blog and see what we have. I guess let's go to the blog in here. Blog. I'm guessing we're probably gonna be far, far away from where it needs to be. Is this centered? Hold on a second. Blog, contact. Is it right aligned? Centered, products, themes. Was I using the wrong about us? Yeah, I'm not sure how this title is aligned. Oh, that's fine. Blog. Yeah, I have no clue at this point how this works right now, so I'll have to figure it out. We do have some things here. We have something that's covering other things. Yikes. Hey, why is this showing up here? It should not be showing up there. That's in the header, not the page header though. Not partials, not components. Header, header. F is front page. We're not on the front page though. Oh, that's the that's the title of a post. Maybe. No, what? I'm not 100% sure why that's there. Okay, well, I will check on that in 1 minute or 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. Well, I will be right back and then check on it. And I'm back, and I was wondering why this is showing up here. I'm guessing, let's see, index blade PHP. It's including partials page header. Oh, okay. Which it should not be there at all. Should it? Oh, WordPress product providers. That's supposed to be on the home page only though. Oh. Well, do we have anything for the other pages? Contact. We do have something for the other pages. Okay. Well, in that case. I guess I could make this into a block. It's one option. Yeah, I can. Yeah, but then this one is kind of trickier because it has this fancy search. How does that look on desktop? What? I'm missing something. Where's my product? Where's products? It's not here. Ah! I guess products is still there. I guess I will not know how. Oh wait, never mind. I do have this one. Yeah, so we still have a search here. I guess that could be another block as well. Okay, that makes sense. That's gonna be another block. Maybe that block would provide the whole data interface. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Okay, so why do you keep breaking? You're not supposed to be that one. There we go. Yeah. Okay. That's the trick part. I have to remember how to make a block now. Fun things. Yeah, and then I guess that component is not gonna be here. Interesting. Okay. Well. Let's find the Gutenberg documentation, I guess. I would like to know. Do we have a link here? Getting started. FAQ, stages, get involved. Further reading. Okay, there it is, the handbook. That is what I want. No, or that. Okay. Bunch of packages. Theming. Tutorials. Ooh, generate blocks with WP CLI. What? Okay, I already have WP CLI installed. WP scaffold block. Okay. Okay, and does that create a plugin that 2 blocks? Scaffold plugin blocks. What? What? That's some magic. Cool. Okay. Let's give that a try. No. I did it again. Let's figure this out. Why it keeps doing that. Okay, I think I fixed it. Oh, autos when switching to that. Okay, it seems to be fixed. Okay. I think I fixed my problem with the browser thingy getting broken. Okay, so what we do is we're gonna follow what they're saying, essentially, and we're gonna create a plugin. Okay, so we're gonna call WP scaffold. Oh, I don't have the auto completion. Oh, why? Oh, let's add that in. WPCOI.org. In case you haven't been using it, WPCOI is like a super useful tool, command line tool for WordPress, interacting with WordPress in many different ways, from installing WordPress like WordPress on its own, to installing plugins, to installing themes, updating all of the above, and many more things, all useful things. And the cool thing is that you can set up auto completion. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I need to download this file, which I'm going to do right now. I just use wget since it doesn't require any other parameters, unlike curl, and I can ever remember the curl parameters for saving to a file. So I just use wget. So I get the file, and then I just say in my bash rc file that I wanted to include this particular file, WP completion bash. I source bash rc again to initialize auto completion, and now I have auto completion. Woohoo! And auto completion is also another great feature. Like, if you're doing anything on the terminal and you're not using autocomplete, you're missing out a lot. You know, because it's one thing to type WP scaffold, right? And I can type it more or less fast, but it's another thing to type just this, right? SC tab. And then I can do that, and it does all kinds of magic. Now back to the other thing that I was working with though. Let's look at the browser documentation. So they're saying WP scaffold plugin, and then the slug of my plugin. And I'm gonna call it pack products. Oh, let's just call it pack products actually. Pack products, right? That should be good enough. Okay. And then WP scaffold block. Accent heading. I don't know if I can use dashes and stuff. Hopefully I can. Title, accent heading, and the plugin is pack products. Create a block, accent heading. Cool. So now if I scroll up to the plugins, I should have pack products, and I should have blocks, accent heading. There it is in all of its glory. So now what I can do is I can go to my dashboard, or no, actually no, I was talking about the WP CLI being useful. WP plugin activate pack products. We'll activate the plugin, and that's all I have to do, really. So now if I go to About Us, above it, I can now insert, or I can't insert, okay. So let's go back to here, because maybe I'm missing something. I'm not sure if it's going to automatically include it. I kind of doubt that it will, but let's take a look anyway, right? So pack products, let's see what this is doing. It's doing absolutely nothing, so yeah, no surprise. Accent heading, essentially all I need to do is just load this file, and that's all. Okay, so I'll require now. Oh, I guess let's do if not defined apps path die, and then I'll require once file blocks, accent heading, oh yes, that is correct. This just ends in PHP. There we go. And so now if I actually reload this page again, hopefully nothing's broken, I should be able to have accent heading. There it is. Ta-da! Beautiful. I can't really do anything to it yet, but we're gonna get there. So now let's look at this accent heading thing. I don't think there's really much to do on the PHP side. It does have some CSS and whatnot. So, you know, nothing really important there, nothing really necessary there. And like, as in nothing to touch really. It would be nice to have some sort of a build thing here for sure, but I can get to that later on. Category widgets. I don't know if I would call it a widget. Formatting. No. Layout elements. No. It's definitely not a widget for sure. Common blocks. Okay. So let's change it to common. Supports HTML false. Okay, sure. No HTML mode, whatever that means. Edit save element P. Yeah, I don't like using this. I would prefer to have some JSX support in here, which is the tricky part, because I don't think that is actually JSX What is this? Why is this supposed to be introducing the necessary important whenever JSX exists? I'm going to use JSX in your code. I'll think to ensure the transform functions within scope. Oh, no. Nope. Okay, let's search for JSX within this handbook. JavaScript build setup. Yes. Okay. How to set up your development. We want to use the ES next syntax. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Quick start. What are examples from the Gutenberg examples repository? Both Webpack and Babel tools. Blah blah blah. npm, yes. Yes. Webpack and Babel. Entry block.js. The thing is, I don't want to have I'm not sure if Webpack supports building from and to multiple files. I'm sure it does. Build multiple bundles, I guess, using entry points. But that's just gonna give us vendor and app bundles. That's not what I want. Multiple entry points and outputs, yes. Entry points, output, main, multi-main entry. Whatever that means. Useful when you like to inject multiple dependent files together and graft their dependencies into one chunk. I don't think that's what I want. Object syntax, more verbose, most scalable way of defining entries in your application. Scenarios. Okay, multi-page applications. So I feel like this is closer to what we want. Page one, blah blah blah. What does this do? 3 separate dependency graphs like the above example. But then the other problem is, if we do this, I feel like it's gonna create 3 big bundles, all containing like the same duplicating stuff. I could try doing it that way, but I'll have to see. Okay. So this are module exports. Okay. If that doesn't work, what I can do is I can have something that's going to get like it's going to bundle together all of the things, so that's fine. It works just as well. Okay, well, let's give that a try. So what I need to do, I need to set up my npm package. So plugins, pack products, npm. What's our git ignore here? Okay, we already have node modules. Cool. So npm init. Okay. Package name, pack products, that's fine. Version, that's fine. Test command, no test command. Git repository, no git repository. Keywords, no keywords. Yeah, sure. Grunt, why are you depending on grunt? Oh, okay, because that's... Wait, do we already have a package JSON? Probably. Oh well, that's fine. So then what we want to do is we want to install these things. This is from the tutorial, by the way, which I should probably post a link to make it easier. So here's a link to the tutorial, and can I post links in here? Yes, I can. Okay. So all of the dependencies are installed. Okay. Webpack and Babel, blah blah blah. Configure Webpack to process the block.js file and run Babel to transfer the JS. Okay. Honestly, yeah, I should just I should just use one. That's fine. Create a file Webpack config.js. Okay. New file Webpack config.js. I'm gonna paste that in here. What I'm going to change though is I'm going to change the entry point to be inside of the blocks directory. We'll create an index.js file. It's not here yet, obviously. Path. So the output is going to be inside of blocks slash something. Or I guess assets JS block. Blocks build.js, sure. Blocks, yes, okay. Okay. Okay, so the next step, install Babel and the JSX plugin using this command, which I just run in the terminal. Oh no. Oh, okay. This is supposed to be dash dash. Okay. Wait for our dependencies to load. In the meantime, it's saying that we can create a Babel RC file. So we'll create that again inside of the plugin directory. Babel RC. Paste that in here. It's getting a little crazy with all these tabs. Let's close a bunch of them. Guess I don't need any of the CSS right now. page header. Yes, I no longer need this because it's gonna be inside of our content now. I don't need this view thingy. Let's get rid of index. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I can close this now. Maybe. Okay. Back products. I'm just setting up a base class for the plugin. Function add filters. This is just a little boilerplate class that I use essentially. And all it does is it's a static class, so all of its methods are static. And all of this is it, sets things up like adds any of the actions that we're going to use, any of the filters, and handles pretty much most of our logic here. What I could do here is I could require these things here. So let's use static includes protected static function includes, and then require all of these things here. Some of this stuff will go away, it will not be there anymore, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so in the meantime, Babel stuff has finished loading. Let's see. Blah blah blah, both complex. You can now run Webpack. You need a basic block.js to build. We already have this. Okay, so now what we have to do actually is inside of, did I create index.js just now? No? I guess I haven't created index.js yet. Okay. Blocks index.js. So in here we create a new file, just index.js. Where I guess we have to require our, you can close babelrc. Actually that would be blah blah blah. I'm trying to think how this was set up and the other one. So remember, create Gutenberg block, right? This repository, which is a good place to start with, setting up a basic Gutenberg block, because you don't have to do much work really, like run it and it just sets up everything, Webpack and all of that stuff. So that's cool. Create Gutenberg block. Packages create Gutenberg block. Example single block source blocks.js. So we just import it. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was looking at this GitHub repository for create Gutenberg. It's by this guy, Ahmad Owais. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Yeah, he made that a while ago, and it's a good way to start creating blocks, really, because it's fairly simple. So yeah, and it comes with everything that you need, but in this case I really want to just accent heading index.js. I really just want to, you know, have things that are independent of vendors like that. So we could even import CSS here. I would have to look at how he did his Webpack package JSON. I guess not here. Yeah. Okay, and we don't have to call anything. Cool. So something we can do is we can copy this constant stuff. So yeah, here we're using constant. We don't need to be using that though. We could just define constant, define things as a constant because they're going to they're not going to change, right? And we can use this syntax because we have Webpack building things for us, which is cool. This element we don't need anymore. Again, we can use the syntax. And now, the thing that we can change here is instead of returning this like that, we can straight up write this like so. And actually, I guess we don't have to switch that. Okay, am I missing something? It doesn't seem like I'm missing anything. But I might have to use JSX instead. Save. No class name, okay. Saved content. Okay, let's try and rename this to index.jsx. Refactor. Okay. Yes. Okay, and now let's try and run. So if we go back to the Gutenberg documentation, what do we need to run? We need to run npm run build. Scripts build just Webpack. Okay. So inside of our package JSON, we need to say that we have a build command, which is just Webpack. Okay, and so although I do like having watch as well, so let's define that too. Webpack watch. I believe that's how we define it. Let's go ahead. Well, first let's test that, I guess. npm run build. And we have errors, that's fine. Error in blocks index.js model not found, can resolve. Oh yes, we need to change this to include JSX. npm run build. Appropriate loader to handle this file type. WordPress fail unexpected token there. We should have that build. That. Oh wait, hold on. Are we supposed to change something? No. We have the rule. Module rules test. Oh, JSX. Okay. Yes, we want to change this to JSX. Let's use the Babel loader for JSX. Question mark, I guess. For JS or JSX. There we go. And that should actually do the trick now. Let's see. Okay, sweet. And this should have exported into assets JS blocks JS. Cool. Okay. Now let's test the watch command as well. Webpack watch. Webpack is watching the files. Okay, and now in theory, if I change something in here, okay, it does do that. Okay, sweet. So what I can do now is I can add my edit configurations. Let me grab this over here so you can see it. Let's add a new one, a new npm command from the pack products plugin. Oh, I'm using -1 and no -d on. I should probably do this consistently. Run, and I want to run the watch script. And we'll call this. Where's the label? Where's my label? Scripts, arguments. Oh, name, right. Plugin watch. And we'll call this theme watch. Okay. And now we're going to start our plugin watch as well. And so as you can see here in page storm, we have the dev watch and the plugin watch running both at the same time. Okay. Now what we can do is we can change the accent heading PHP file. We want to, so we'll leave the CSS stuff for now as it is. We're probably gonna want to make stuff with it too, like maybe make things into, out of the CSS stuff. The CSS stuff I'm not actually gonna be loading from here anyway. Okay, yeah, because I want to have my CSS in the theme, and because it's gonna be the styling anyway, and just the basic things in here. Okay, so let's not worry about that. Let's worry about the JS file. So index.js, it's actually inside of, okay, it's inside of assets JS. What do I call it? Assets JS blocks JS. Blocks JS. Okay. And so now in theory, if we were to reload this page, reload. Oh, something broke. Boot it and declare static property. Okay, that should be okay. I just forgot to say that this is a static property. Stat file for, why did it fail? What? Plugins, pack products, blocks assets. Oh, okay, that's the wrong place for this stuff. It's fine. But yeah, the thing is that this should not be in here. Actually, I don't think I need this PHP file at all. Yeah, not at all. Okay. Editor script. Editor style. I have no clue what this does. Does this, oh, this enqueues things automatically? That's pretty cool. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so maybe these register block types should still be here. Let's see. Let's grab this and pop it over into our add actions here. And this is not gonna work. Static class will work though. And it's blocks public static function init blocks. Okay, and so in there what we're going to do, copy all this stuff right now. If we don't have block type bail, or there's that index.js, that's fine, that's good. Editor CSS. So let's comment this stuff out for now. You know what? Blocks. Okay, let's keep this for now. Blocks. Okay, yeah, let's keep this stuff for now. Let's get rid of the include here. Okay. Let's see if we're no longer getting that error. That's good. Okay, so now if we try to add the block, it should work as it did before. Go from the editor, update, and when we go to the home page, all right, just click on the logo. Hello from the save content. Sweet. Okay, so now what I could do, and what I should do, well, first of all, this is gonna fail as soon as we try to change things, but let's see how it fails anyway. So in the JSX, what we want to do really is grab the HTML from here, right, and plop it over in here. So save. We'll put the HTML here. Oh, I love PHP Storm. Okay, so something you might have missed there. I copied this stuff, right? That has class and all that. And I pasted it in here, which is a JSX file where you need to type class name. PHP Storm automatically converted the class to class name, which is great. Now instead of slot here though, what we're going to do is we're going to do the content. Well, I guess let's hardcode the content for now, right? So what we need to do is hello from the saved content, exclamation mark. Delete this stuff. I don't know if that's gonna work. We'll see. Okay. Okay, that's what we need to return. We can see our blocks got built again. We can have this over here as well. Return this stuff. And we'll add props class name to our actual class name that we care about. In this case, hello from the editor. That's what we need to have here. Save that. Reload the page, see if anything breaks. Okay, so contains unexpected or invalid content. Why is that? Block validation fail for pack products accent heading. Expected. Okay, actual. Right, okay, yeah. So because we changed the edit method, right? We changed the HTML and the edit method. Gutenberg gets confused about that and it's like, well, that doesn't match anymore, so I'm guessing something's wrong. Let's try and resolve. Convert to blocks after conversion. No, I don't want either of those. Okay, so I'll just remove this one. And I'll add it again. And this time, as you can see, it has the correct things and everything. Okay, update this and reload our page. And it's actually, well, it's not perfect, but it's better. Accent heading. Oh, because it's loading the styling. Okay. So I guess I could have been showing things better. You didn't see any of that. That's no fun. So, okay, I'll go back and I'll show you what happens. So, whoops. Yeah, so let's go back all the way to here, right? And let's delete this. Update. Reload the page. Let's add the heading. Update. I switched this time. So here's the heading, right? If we inspect it, it's the paragraph, which is the old style. Now in the code, we're going to go back and redo our changes, which has the new, div and all of that stuff, the different HTML. Now in here, so we already updated. So in here, we're going to reload. And we're going to see this error that says this block contains unexpected or invalid content. And the console has a fairly decent, description of what's going on. So what it does essentially is that it calls the edit method initially or something like that. It calls the edit method, looks at the result that it gets back, and it compares it to what's actually in the DOM, like what was actually used there when it was initializing this block, and it sees that they don't match, and it says, something's wrong. Either someone messed with this content by hand, or something else happened. And so it breaks, and it gives you this warning. You can resolve somehow. I guess it just converts it to a static HTML block or to blocks, which in this case is just going to convert it to a paragraph, I think. So not very useful in our case. We have some more options. Convert to classic block. We don't want that. Gutenberg does provide some ways to change things. So it's not like you're locked in forever. You can change things without breaking people's content. I was looking into that when I was doing the other series on Gutenberg a year ago. I know backwards compatibility, is that it? Really? There's nothing here. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to read up on Gutenberg. It is quite a big thing, really. Inner node zone, attribute deprecated blocks. Okay, so you can define deprecated attributes. Oh, there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yes. So you need to consider existing posts using the old version of their blog. In order to provide a good upgrade path, you can choose one of the following strategies. So you can either not deprecate the block and just create a new block, essentially. Or you can provide a deprecated version of the block, allowing users opening these blocks to edit them using the updated block. And you can have several deprecated versions. Yeah, so if Gutenberg runs into that issue that we just found, that we just saw, you know, this particular thing, and here actually let's implement that real quick so you can see how it works in action. But what you can do is you can say, okay, you know, like these are my deprecated versions. You know, these are the attributes. So, you know, you define your attributes. If you added new attributes later on or something, or if they share the same attributes, here in their example, they're sharing the same attributes, right? And so in the deprecated array, they say, you know, I had the same attributes as I do right now, or I had different attributes than I do right now. And when you save it, it's supposed to save to this. Or no, the save would produce this, I believe. Attribute support and save or not. Blah blah blah. An array of deprecation objects where each object takes the form of attributes. The object support, save, migrate, attributes under blocks is eligible. Okay. Mark of the block to use a div instead of paragraph and name the text attributes content. Okay, so yeah, here's their example. So they have attributes, content attribute, which is a string type, whatever. And when they save this one, it saves as a div, right? And then other block properties like edit, for example. And then in their deprecated version, they have this one, which is their attributes. They have text instead of content, again type string, that's fine. They have the migrate version, the migrate function, which takes in the attributes, specifically the text one, and returns the attributes as the new one, which is content and text. And then on save, yeah, okay, so the save method is used to match what is currently in the editor versus what would have been in that particular deprecated version. Yeah, so essentially what you need to do is you need to grab your old save, you know, so you change your save method, right? And you need to grab the old version of it and put it in a deprecated object in here. And that way it will run what's currently in the editor against each of these save methods. And it's gonna let you, and it's gonna pick out essentially the first version that matches, I think. So yeah, again, while you're developing, just ignore it, delete the block, move on, doesn't matter, not a big deal. You'll see this a lot, especially while you're developing the block and stuff like that. But once you actually have people that are using the block, even if it's internally or not, it will save you lots of headaches if you provide an upgrade path using this deprecated property. Okay, so we don't have any attributes really in this case. So yeah, I'll just delete this one and I'll insert the other one, the new one, accent heading. I'll update it. I'll go back to the home page and I'll get rid of the style CSS that's in here for that particular block, because we don't need any styles here really. And now if I go back to the browser, there it is, hello from the saved content, and it's just this. Now I will probably add some additional styles to the OP block so that it's, you know, spaced away from other elements and stuff like that. But yeah, there it is. And now I can go in and reuse this. I can say, okay, you know, I want to have, you know, why? Oh, come on, let me answer this. Oh, that's annoying. Come on. Okay, whatever. You know, I can have another accent heading here and another one here if I wanted to. And they're all styled the same way, right? And I can put them in whatever I want. And as long as I style them correctly, I'm all good, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I would just need to add some spacing and stuff. Okay, well, I think that I will wrap this up for today. It's been how long? Oh my god, really? Almost 4 hours? Oh wow. Time flies. Gee. Okay, well, okay. To take away or to summarize today, what did I do? I did a couple of things. I got to setting up the footer to look like the design. It mostly does now. Probably I have some spacing issues, but you know, roughly it looks like the design, which is good. Here's our design. I am missing still one of the widgets for subscribe to blog. I'll be adding this later on. Like I said, maybe some spacing issues here. Not enough spacing after the end of the widget, whatever. That's easy to fix, but you know, the general thing works. The general footer works on mobile. I'll be getting to tablet and desktop later on, so I'm not too worried about them at the moment. I also added the footer icons, and they're editable through the customizer interface within WordPress, which is a very, you know, convenient place for this kind of functionality. So I can have any of these links on or off, and I can just, you know, change the URL whenever I want. And if there's no URL, there's no icon here. A big time waste, although potentially a useful one, was setting up my provider, view service provider. It was quite a lot of work to get that to work actually, and I'm questioning whether it was worth it or not. But anyway, the idea of the view service provider, this is something that comes from Laravel. It lets you say that, you know, some views need to be composed, or some views are composed through a specific class or function, whatever. In this case, I'm saying that, you know, whenever the footer template, this one right here, and partials footer, whenever that one is being rendered, I want it to go through my footer composer first, which when it's being constructed, it sets up an array of URLs and then passes those URLs. So when the view is being composed, it defines these URLs as variables within the view. And so within the view, I can now access LinkedIn URL, Facebook URL, and stuff like that. And the cool thing about this is that it makes it so that I don't have to define all of my variables up at the top here, you know, like LinkedIn URL equals get vmod whatever, you know, and do all that stuff, which you can, it's gonna work, It's just against the MVC pattern, I guess. So yeah, and the other cool thing is, because you could, I think when you're actually using it, when you're including something, I think you can pass like a second, like an array of attributes or an array of things to pass to the view. In this case, you don't have to, you know, like in this case, it just magically works. And no matter where I include the footer, this stuff will always be there, which is nice. This is more useful for other things that, you know, will be included more often, but it works here as well. Okay, so once I finally got that to work, I was able to move on, and I was going to start working on the blog page, but then I noticed that this stuff here, this text here, which I had hard-coded, actually seems like it needs to be part of the page content. And that's how I set up on the journey of creating a Gutenberg block, which turned out to be super easy. Really, with the WP COI, you know, we created a base, a blank plugin, then a blank block, and that's it. I did also set up a build step for the blocks, because I am yeah, so here's the scaffolding of a blank plugin and a blank block. I also set up the build step for JavaScript so that I can use JSX and other fancy things like that. And I deviated a little bit from what they were suggesting, and you know, the way that scaffolding of blocks works, because I will be adding more blocks in the future as well, and so I don't need them built as individual files. Really, I want them to be all built into the same bundle that I can just import in one place, and it just works. So yeah, I went a little bit slightly differently from the way that they did it in the documentation, but that's fine. You know, that's why this is here, and it's just a starting point. You can change it however you want. And that's about it. I changed the block so that it outputs HTML that is already styled from my CSS. And the next step would be to make this text editable, obviously, but this is something that I'll be working on next time instead of today, because it's been almost 4 hours now. And yeah, with that said, I think I'm gonna wrap it up, and I will see you in a week. Usually the stream is supposed to start at noon PST, or 8 p.m. GMT UTC. But sometimes varies, so sometimes I start like half an hour late or an hour late, depending on how much work I haven't done yet and I need to catch up with. But yeah, it's always on Thursdays, and feel free to comment again next time. Feel free to leave some comments either on Twitch or on YouTube, where I'm live streaming this as well, and the video will be uploaded on the Pack Development channel. Yeah, feel free to leave some comments. If you have some questions, I'll be happy to answer them either offline or on the next stream. Yeah, with all that said, have a good day, evening, night, whatever you are, and see you in a week. Bye.